It is 8:10 Newstalk Sauga 960 Raw. Mike Richards. You know, I have a cousin, Chris Kinnear, as some people might know. That's Gunner's son, right? The long-term trainer for the Leafs. He also played in the last National Lacrosse League, where his nickname was No Fear Kinnear. Does that mean he fought? Yep, and he loved it. So now he he has a bunch of ailments after playing junior hockey, beating up people from coast to coast. So what did he do? Open up a Popeye store. And so he's been out in Victoria. Well, he listens and just started listening every day to the podcast. He said, "What's with all this Bell stuff? What's with all this Bell talk? I mean, you mean the finest natural healthcare products in the world? You mean
Exactly.
that part, Chris?" I
Yeah.
said, "Well, you know, that it's called title sponsor of the show. So, you know, if that's putting out the Popeye people, well, too bad, because we feel we have literally not only the best guys, but we also have the best products available. And for more, we now have to use both names, Doug Carey, not just Doug, from Bell." And he is going to tell us this morning about not only the various products, but see, some of the stuff, because of our age, it's usually elbows, knees, whatever. It's why the company was started with shark cartilage. It deals directly with a lot of the ailments that we have. But the one thing that I don't think we've ever talked about is the vision side of things, that Bell actually has something for eye care. So first of all, good morning, Doug Carey.
Good morning. How's it going?
It's going good. It's good. What do you have in terms of vision?
I personally use our Vision product. What I found over the years is, as you mentioned, as you get older, you tend to, need extra stuff, whether it's for the joints or whether it's for some other ailments. You just can't help it. You just get older, and next thing you know, you can't do something that you used to do, like run down the road. And for me, one of the things was vision. Obviously, as you get older, everybody finds out that they need glasses. Your eyesight starts to wane. And for me, I especially noticed, and we have a Vision Day and Night product. And what I find is when I take it, usually I take it all the time, but in a case like now, when I'm not in the office, I sometimes run out of products. And when I don't take it, I actually notice the difference.
Right.
And that's when you know something's really working. And in the case of the Vision product, Vision Day and Night, it's something that helps, ease some of the eye strain that you have. It's just better eye health in general. And it also, can combat some of the issues that you have as you get older, things like cataracts or age-related macular degeneration, which are both ailments that you get when you get older. If you're a diabetic, you're highly susceptible to things like cataracts, and you just need those supplements to help your eyes work better. And it's something I really notice when I don't take.
How does it work exactly? It's obviously pill form. Is it 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, or 1 in the evening? And how does that work exactly, Doug?
It's a couple capsules. So, it's pretty straightforward. It's 2 capsules once daily. So, as long as you remember to take it, you're good. And it's really the ingredients that do all the work for you. So there's several different herbs in it. Everything from cranberry to eyebright to alpha lipoic acid. But the key ones for me that I find are really important is something like Aztec marigold extract, which is just a flower. So the flower petals, and they contain a substance called zeaxanthin. And this is an important antioxidant for the eye. And this really helps protect the eye and will help keep it safe from things like oxyradicals and free radical damage. And this can be caused everything from sunshine to a whole host of exposures to the eye. So zeaxanthin from the Aztec marigold, and we also have calendula extract, which has lutein, which is another important eye supplement. And
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. So I was just going to add, you triggered a question. I've had eye surgery in the last couple of years for people in this situation, because it seems more and more people are starting to get their eyes fixed and so forth. And then even at a certain stage after the surgery, you still don't have as strong a sharpness as you did. Would you recommend something like that for people that have had the procedure?
Absolutely, and it's just something to try. So, you know, we always talk about on the show that these things aren't cures, right? But they're supplements. They're things you should get in your diet, but 95% of us aren't getting what we need in our diet. So these types of supplements really help, and especially when it comes to eye care, this is something that we don't necessarily get in our diet on a regular basis, but is really important. So if you've had eye surgery, if you've had any injury to the eye, there's going to be some inflammation. There's going to be some damage to the eye. Things like these supplements will help as far as, you know, providing those antioxidants, which will help protect the eye. And the best thing to do is try it. And if you notice a difference, then you know it's working for you.
I can guarantee that, because I use Inflamex, you know, the shark cartilage, and just the other day I'm coming up the stairs and I look like Fred Sanford, and I'm like, yeah, I might want to start taking that stuff again, because I do notice the difference. And here's the other thing, because of dealing with all the knowledge we have. So when Joan comes on, she talks about all these stuff and how old the remedies are. I said, these are like, you know, the ancient Chinese. I'm watching Vikings. Okay, I'm watching Vikings, and there's a Chinese girl on there at some point, and the hero Ragnar, he's having problems with his head. And she goes, "Oh, you need to take this." And she's, oh, these little remedy things come out of her magic little bag, and he's eating them. He's like, "Yeah, I am feeling stronger." I'm like, "Yeah." And now you can thank Bell Healthcare Products, because Ragnar, that's where you can find it now, just so you know.
Well, you know, we laugh about stuff like that, but it's true. So
It is true.
the calendula is a plant from the Mediterranean, and it's been documented since the 12th century being used for this purpose. Same with eye break, which is in the formula. That dates back to 14th century. You know, that's just from recorded history. So, you know, who knows how long it's actually been used, but it's been around. It's nothing new. So these are proven extracts that have been used in medicinal medicine for a long time.
Well, now we go to a man who was known as the Viking of Uxbridge, which I thought was, who's he raiding? Port Perry? Like our good friend Tim Allen. Tim, how you doing this morning?
I'm great, guys. Sorry for the delay in getting connected here. I can work in the supplements business, but getting technology to work is another story. Right?
It is another story.
I think there's an overload on Zoom right now. Anyway,
Yeah,
I caught part of the discussion before I joined on, so I just was wondering when you're going to start to discuss oregano and eye of newt.
Yeah, well, I think that you have pushed the eye of newt conversation to the side. It hasn't come up, but oregano. I mean, it cures your knees, your ears, and great on salads. Like, I mean, I don't know, there's anything that it can't do. But the one thing that we did, so Doug was talking about the vision care, and I said the one thing that almost immediately had an effect was Inflamex, because I think that, you know, those of us at this age group now, if you played a lot of hockey, you do a lot of stuff, I'm sure. Yeah, and now Tim is now showing me. So is that something that you use regularly as well?
Oh yeah, this is fantastic.
Yeah,
fantastic. I get up in the morning and I always am reminded, well, I've been in this business for 30 plus years. I think back when I started and I was in my early 20s, and I'm thinking to myself, who's buying this stuff? Are those old guys really buying this stuff? Guess what? Us old guys, we're really buying this stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Inflamex actually has been a great one. And honestly, I was motivated to try this product after you tried it. Mm-hmm. When you had a knee issue and then you started raving about it, it was like, I haven't tried that product. And yeah, you've been tracking my golf game. I don't know that you've been looking at my scores, but you know, but you're welcome to come and carry the clubs, and then we'll take Inflamex together afterwards.
Isn't that
nice? Anyway, one of the things I have certainly noticed in the aging process, just more aches and pains, general discomfort. and especially into the evening. And the Inflamex has been fantastic. It just seems to settle the body down. And I wanted to mention another one we weren't that I've just started to look at is this product called Cell Restore, and this one I think will take me back to that youth that I'm looking for. When I get there and you recognize me from so many years ago, then perhaps you'll start taking that one. Anyways,
but you haven't changed since grade 4.
Right?
I don't know. You
Right.
must that fountain of youth must be outside. You got to bottle that stuff up.
Right.
I swear to God, he hasn't changed at all.
Right. And the product that I absolutely love, but I've been really fortunate this year, is my gout relief. We talked about that one previously, and now that we're into barbecue season. But one of the things that's interesting too, you sparked my attention last week or the week before. You'd mentioned that you like lamb.
Yes.
And hopefully most of your listeners are on that side of the...
Oh, they are. Trust me. This is a meat-eating crowd. Yeah. No salads here.
But you know what? Whether you're vegan, vegetarian, whether you're a meat eater, it doesn't matter. But you know, we really need to consume a lot more water, and by consuming a lot more water and staying hydrated, especially during the summer months when it's so hot outside, will certainly keep gout at bay for those people that experience it only every now and then and would prefer not to experience it at all. And the gout relief has been incredibly successful for us.
Tim, I've never seen Cell Restore. Can you tell us how exactly that works and what are the goals behind Cell Restore?
I knew you were going to ask me more about that one. This product I got interested in because a couple of the people that I'm working with have started taking it. One in particular, our account manager in the West, and had noticed right away that her skin, the texture of her skin had softened slightly, and that she was noticing less wrinkles, which was, I think, a very positive thing, and that she noticed as well that it was boosting her energy. This is an interesting product too, because it's one of the few that contain quercetin as a complex, and we're hearing a lot about quercetin today, especially when it comes to immune support, and especially around coronavirus. So interesting that it's got that in it. So free radical fighter. This product has, I'm just gonna look at, I need something for my eyes, Doug. I know you were talking about that earlier. We've got chlorella in here. We've got chondroitin sulfate. And this is an interesting one because this makes up a key component. This is from shark cartilage, which is what is a big seller for us.
Yep.
We have quercetin in here, L-leucine in here, spirulina in here, kombu extract. So we've got lots of good stuff. I'm just looking for Eye of Newt. I think they've left that one out of this particular formula.
Yeah, that's in the witchy poo section of the of the milk products, which not as popular. But you mentioned a seasonal, so about gout.
Yes.
So that's in reference to what? Is that meat? Is it why that?
It tends to be, I believe, that it's the dehydration factor. It's when you get dehydrated, obviously your body chemistry is in balance when there's water. I mean, we're over 70% water. So keeping the moisture content really high allows things to work much better. And when we get dehydrated is when our chemistry can tip. And the uric acid that is always circulating in our blood starts to crystallize. And that's when it settles into the joints, especially into the large toe, the big toe and the large joint there, and causes the excruciating pain. So as long as we can stay hydrated, we can lessen the risk that we're going to tip the scale and have the uric acid form crystals in the body and cause that pain.
See, that's interesting you say that because my good friend Claude, a good longtime friend in Stouffville, and he came over one time and he could barely walk. It was like his foot, and he said, I suffer from gout. Now this was a while ago, so I thought it was an age-related thing, which clearly it is not. And I said, so what bothers it? He said, well, sometimes red meat and red wine can really affect it. And I said, well, you got to go home. Because you just mentioned the entire menu. So see you later. But it is not age related, right? This is not an gout does not. When I heard that as a kid, I thought that's an old person's thing.
That is correct. And not necessarily. In fact, we're seeing it in younger people today. A lot of it has to do with, I think primarily it has to do with the dehydration effect, but it can be driven by diet. It can be driven probably by genetics as well. I mean, my grandfather had suffered from it, so I don't know if genetically that worked its way down to me. But we have a sales agent working with us in Quebec. He's mid-60s now, and this guy is one of those guys that's totally invincible. Nothing knocks him down, keeps on rolling. And about a month or so ago, much to his surprise, he was experiencing gout. And I think a lot of people, when they first experience gout, they're not aware of what the signs and symptoms are, except that the toe starts to seize up. And they think, oh man, what's going on? I've got arthritis. I kicked something. I stubbed something. I've twisted my toe somehow. And he went through that and then was diagnosed with gout. And I sent him a note. And I'm just looking at this. The way, and actually number one at the top, drink to prevent gout, drink plenty of fluids. Stay well hydrated, including plenty of water. Limit how many sweetened beverages you drink, especially those sweetened with high fructose corn syrup. Well, where is high fructose corn syrup these days? In a lot of the sweet drinks that we have, right? Mm-hmm. Limit or avoid alcohol. That could be a problem for some listeners.
That takes out 99%
right,
of the listeners right now.
Right. And then we've got get your protein from low-fat dairy products. Limit your intake of meat, fish, and poultry. And then maintain a desirable body weight. So obviously being dehydrated, excessive use of alcohol, especially beer, that can be a driver for it. High protein that's coming predominantly from meat products. I believe that red meats, organ meats are real drivers for it. And then if you're overweight, obese, then you're going to have a higher likelihood of experiencing gout.
Well, these are things that generally, and as you know, guys don't want to talk about this stuff. Like, for the most part, this is not a conversation where you're sitting there going, yeah, here's what I do. Here's a problem, my big toe. Like, the reality is that's why this conversation is a good conversation. This will go out later on Twitter. And I know for fact, as I said, there's my buddy. Someone is going to see this and go, oh, I thought I had arthritis. Oh, I thought I did this. I thought it was something I did on the golf course. It's none of those things. It's going to be exactly what you talked about. And that's why it's important to openly talk about those kinds of things. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us here this morning. Doug, you and your now X-ray vision, is that what you were bragging about there moments ago?
I can look out my window and actually see you in Mississauga. So.
Tim, always good to see you, my friend. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank
and
you.
as always, Bell comes to the rescue again. Thanks so much, gentlemen. I appreciate
Have a
it.
great day,
Thanks,
guys.
guys.
Thanks so much.
That is, once again, Tim Allen, Doug Carey from Bell. Lifestyle Products, our main sponsor. There's a reason for it, because they do a great job. And as Tim said, the one thing that I really noticed as I stopped using the Inflamex and the joint relief last night, I know that I need to start taking it again, because it was a little embarrassing.